Welcome back to the Venom Workshop. So today what we're going to be doing is we're going to change the motor in this 1300 watt. This 1300 watt is an oldie but a goodie. This is an actual customer unit, came in for service. You might notice there's some differences from your 1300 watt to this one. This one here actually has the plastic bumper. This is the new style, and that's the old style. This ATV has been around for a long time. He just brought it in for service. It works perfect. So I thought, you know, this machine, when I do change videos, when I do parts replacement videos on ATVs and stuff, you'll notice a lot of the times that I'm doing them on new units. But this is the perfect opportunity to have a unit just like you have at home, where it's already used and needs a little work done to it. So it makes it a little bit better to use a used unit, so I can show you exactly the way it's going to be for you too. So we're going to come back here. The motor is actually pretty easy to change in this. We do have to remove the chain, but other than that, it's not that big a deal. So I'm going to get my camera in place, grab my tools, and we'll get all set up, and we'll start getting this tore apart. Okay, so first what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to cut the zip ties holding the motor in. Not the motor is actually held in with motor mounts, but the wiring for it. So right here, underneath here, where you see these zip ties are the motor, or is the motor wire. So we're just going to snip those off. Here and here. Oops. Okay. Like that. Then our wire is movable. I can move it around. And now, if you feel right here, that right there is your motor wire. So we can unplug that like that. And we can go ahead and pull it down. There we go. And now we can start taking the motor out. So that's your motor wire right there. It'll have a black and a red wire like that, very thick. A lot of power goes through that wire. So now that wire's off. So now we can go to the back. Oh my goodness. And let's spin it around here. And we'll come down. So you'll notice our motor wires right here. And that's good. So now what you need is you're going to need a Phillips screwdriver to take off the chain guard. There we go. That's just held in clips. There we go. Perfect. So now you're going to need a 17 mil wrench and a 14 mil wrench. And the 14 mil wrench goes on the inside right here. So we can loosen these off. And the reason we want to loosen this, and you don't have to take it right out, just loosen it. The reason we're loosening these is so we can take the tension off the chain, so we can get the chain off the motor. And these two tensioners down here, we're going to loosen them off as well. But I've got to get my my wrench in. Like that. There we go. And we just want to, like I said, loosen that off so we can loosen these nuts off here. And I'm going to go ahead and just keep doing this, because we have to do both sides. Now this side I can actually put the box end on. we go. And like I said, you don't have to go super loose, just enough that it turns like that freely, because that gives enough for the motor to turn, or I'm sorry, the chain to loosen. Oh, that was tight. That was very, 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 very tight. Foot on that one. There we go. Doesn't hurt to use leverage, you know. There we go. Put that off to the way and then watch our little screws. Go. There. And as I loosened this last one off, I actually literally felt all the tension come off of here. Now, we can loosen these, and these are just a 13 mil nut. And again, you don't have to take them right off. Just give enough room that it can move. Just like that. Now you should be able to move your tensioners forward and backward. If you want, you can actually tap on these a bit with a hammer and move it forward. You won't really need to. So now we can go ahead and we can start getting our bolts and stuff off. Here you're going to need a number 8 to do that. Just an 8 mil socket, but one you're going to need an 8 mil wrench for, and that's that one right back down in there. I don't know if you can see that, but right where my finger is, there's an 8 mil, and it's a lot easier if you just get an 8 mil wrench and just put it in there like that, and get that loosened off. So might as well right here while I'm here, right? Let's loosen it off. There we go. Okay. All right, so I'm going to keep going with this. I'm going to grab my socket and I will be back. So something else I'm going to probably do here is I want to take off my sprocket. It's the easiest way to get to this bolt right here. And all you're going to need is a 10 mil to take these off. They are going to be a little stiff because they have, and it's going to feel like they're cross-threaded, but they're not. They have a little bit of Loctite on them from the factory to hold that sprocket on there nice and tight. I just want to get them loosened off a bit here. So I'm just gonna, there we go. Nice and easy. Oh my goodness, that one's tight. It's probably better if I had a longer ratchet, but there we go. And you'll see the white on here, that's just a little Loctite. I'll put a little Loctite back on it when I take it off. Or sorry, when I put it back on. And the only reason I'm taking this sprocket off is it'll make it easier to get to that one motor mount bolt on the back end. Left. go. And then we can move it forward, take our chain right off, just slip the sprocket over like that. And I just want to get the cameras where you can see what I'm doing. And then you can get to this bolt right here. We've already loosened it off a bit, so then we can go ahead and get our other number 8s here. So I'm just using an 8 mil with an extension. That one I can just figure taking out of there, just like that. Now we can just slip our motor out. You don't have to take that rear bracket off, it can stay on. And then we're just going to work out the motor so we can get our cord out like that. And that's it. Now, this is our old motor. We just took it out. There's nothing wrong with this motor. It rolls nice. It doesn't stink. A good indication that this motor is bad is it's gonna smell really, 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 really bad. Like really, really bad. If I get a bad motor, I try to get out of the shop and get it back to the recycling as fast as I can, because this engine, when it goes, it really gives a bad, foul, burning smell. And it will linger in the shop for a long time. So we, as soon as I usually get this out, the engine out, I will try immediately as fast as I can to get it into the recycling. So just like I said, there's nothing wrong with this motor, so I'm gonna put it right back in. So now I'm gonna move my camera back to right here. I'm gonna take our motor. Now, before you put your motor in, you want to make sure you put your wire in and move it up toward the battery, over the top of the swing arm, like that. And the wire stays up on the top of the motor, so all you have to do is get the wire inside the housing here first, and then work the motor back in. Now, when you work the motor back in, you want to make sure it's straight so it slips into that collar in the back. Just like that. Then our wire is right here, so we can zip tie that after, but we're going to go ahead and we're going to put our 8 mils back in. And our next 8 mil right there. There. Just like that. And now we can go ahead and we can tighten those all. And you want them tight, but you don't need them so tight that you're going to strip the bolt. So just a good snug in there until you feel it's tight, and that's it. Tighten that one. That. And like that. Perfect. So that's in. Now, what all we need to do is take our sprocket back this way, and we can move it over so we can put our chain on. excuse me, the holes on our sprocket. So you may have to move your chain forward a bit, or it depends where your holes are lining up, but those look like they're lining up pretty good. Oh, I want to put some Loctite on there. I'm going to grab my Loctite first. Okay, so now I have my Loctite. Now Loctite, you do not need much. A tiny drop of Loctite is a lot. Oh. So just a drop like that is lots. Just that much. That's all you need. Drop just like that. There we go. Okay, once you have two in, the sprocket's going to line up no matter what. So another drop on there like that. There we go. That's my last one. Perfect. Now I can just go ahead and tighten those all in. I want to make sure that that one's nice and tight on each one of these. And you'll notice I'm kind of going from side to side, from here to down here. Like that. Okay, and one last one. There we go. Okay, those are nice and tight. That's perfect. Okay. So next, what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to tighten the chain. These are our two chain tensioners down here. So we can go ahead and screw them in by hand. But what you're going to want to do is, when we, that's way too loose, but when we tighten these up, the distance of the end of this bolt and the distance of the end of this bolt have to be the exact same. And that'll make the axle track straight. So just keep filling in there when you're doing this. And keep watching your distance on these 2 bolts. That's trying to pull back a bit. That's good. Now that's way too tight. That chain is piano wire tight, and you don't want that. Especially an old chain, because the chain is already stretched. There we go. That's not bad right there. I might actually tighten it just a hair more. Right there is perfect. So you want about 1/4 of an inch play that you can move it up and down. And I'm gonna tighten up that one. Like I said, I want this to match this, so they're matching now. And then we're gonna move all the tools out of the way that we don't need. Tighter the way. Still need that screwdriver, and we need our 17 or 14 mil. Because now we're gonna tighten up all the mounts here. Your 14 down there, and we can tighten our bolts. And you want to make sure that those are tight, because you don't want that chain to loosen up. And you'll notice once I tightened that, the chain did tighten up a little bit more, but it's still got a little play in it, which is what I want. If you find your chain gets really, really tight after you've tightened these, then you're gonna have to loosen them off and give just a little bit more room on your tensioners. Again, I still got a little play, so I'm not bad here. There we go. So we get the box up in a little bit. Okay. Okay, that side's nice and tight. So now we can tighten up the other side. There we go. And again, I still got some motion in my chain like I want. Put that there and tighten that 11 up, or the 14 up. There we go. So that's all nice and tight. It's all the way it's supposed to be. Take our chain guard, put it back into place. There's 2 clips. There's one here at the top, and there's another one at the bottom. There we go. Now we can go ahead and put our screws back in. Go. And down here, put a screw in. Perfect. Now all we have to do is go up and plug our motor wire, which is right here. It goes up over, there's a little cross member bar right here. It goes over the top of that, and then up here to our plug right here, and then we're going to zip tie it. So I'm just going to grab a couple of zip ties. Zip tie out of there. Now, like I said, this goes over the cross member beam right here. Just like that. And then our plug is right here. And we just plug that back in. like that. And that's that. So now I just have to put my zip ties on. Hold that wire in place. One there. Move it up a bit. That. And then there's going to be one down here. Just like that. And let's just snip off the remains. And that, guys, is how you change the motor on a 1300 watt ATV. If you have any questions or concerns, definitely reach out and we'll be happy to help. And like and subscribe. Leave us a comment down in the comments. We love reading your comments, guys. And hope you have a great day. See you in the next video.